Now, Rhonda Revelle, the Nebraska head coach, told us this week, if you let it, the game of softball is a teacher about life, and we have learned a lot this year. Another lesson encapsulated in this game that Harness is 1 out from closing out. And we have learned her role. Now, Rhonda Revelle, the Nebraska head coach, told us this week, if you let it, the game of softball is a teacher about life, and we have learned a lot this year. Another lesson encapsulated in this game that Harness is 1 out from closing out. Not just a come-from-behind victory they're 1 out away from, but a series win and staying in the top 4 of the Big Ten. 2-0.
And, you know, they lost the first game of this series. So talk about bouncing back, talking about being the teacher, softball being a great teacher in life. And I think that lose game 1, come back and win game 2, down by 5 in game 3, come back, and now you have the lead. Pretty good education.
Lawson takes the whole way. Ball 3. After Lawson, Anderson is on deck. 1 for 3 today. And then it's the top of the order, Kylie Sand. Red light, I'd imagine. Yep. It's a strike.
100%. I mean, 3-0, down by a run, bottom of the 7th, you're taking all the way. I've played for a lot of coaches, too, who probably would have had everyone taking until you got a strike, being down by a run. Usually it's from, like, the 5th inning on. So I was actually a little bit surprised to see Chavez swing at that first pitch to lead off the inning.
That's ball 4. And Maddie Lawson is aboard for the 3rd time today.
She's had good at-bats. She's found different ways to get on base. You mentioned the double earlier. Now she has a walk, and she becomes the game-tying run, which is huge for Rutgers.
Now Jill Anderson. Mentioned she does have a hit today. The pitch. Ready to swing. Strike 1.
It's a good pitch to swing at, too. Pretty much over the fat part of the plate. You're trying to be aggressive a little bit. And that's the game-tying run on first. So figuring out a way to get her home with 2 outs.
The bottom of this Rutgers order known best for its speed and contact, not its power. Pitch. Floats into the zone, hovering down for strike 2.
That's impossible to hit. It's 0-1. You're not expecting it. It's over the fat part of the plate, but it's just the perfect speed, so you can't reset. Jill Anderson just gets frozen by it.
Harness in search of one more. Popped up on the infield. Gray makes the call. She squeezes it, and the ball game is over. Nebraska is resilient once again. A 5-run deficit spins into an extra inning win, and the Huskers come back to win this series at Rutgers 7-6 in 8 innings. What a thriller.
This was one of the most exciting games of softball that I've witnessed so far this season because Nebraska never gave up. And it's not even like they were playing poorly, Dom. They just had a couple calls that didn't go their way that compounded and put them in a hole. But the way that they kept their head up and then capitalized on other mistakes that were happening that Rutgers was committing, oh my goodness. If you're Rhonda Revelle, you have to be so happy and so proud of this team. And if you're Rutgers, if you're Nebraska, you just have to be so excited for this win and carry this momentum into the rest of conference play.
Well, Nebraska now 8-3 in Big Ten action, guaranteed to be in the top 4 of the conference as we move into the final weekends of league play. A team that had dreams of hosting a regional, has suffered all the injuries in the world, but very clearly has not given up on things and has an opportunity to still play its way into the postseason.
Absolutely. I mean, how about that performance from Sarah Harness, too, just coming in those big moments to shut down the Rutgers offense. Some big hits from a couple different people. They are battling the elements. They were battling different injuries. Brooke Andrewson stepping into play when we didn't even think she was going to be in the lineup. Resiliency, resiliency, resiliency. I can't wait to watch this Nebraska team finish out the rest of their season.
Now the Huskers score 6 unanswered runs to close this ball game out, and they take the series on Sunday 7-6 in 8. And that'll do it from Piscataway. For Maria Trival-Peace, the rest of our Rutgers Big Ten Plus crew, I'm Dom Savino saying